My name is Shabari Rao, and my training is as a dancer and choreographer. BFC is the Big Fat Company, and it's an ensemble of plus size actors who got together for several reasons. Two of the main reasons being to actually just explore their own range as actors, so to push themselves both creatively and as actors. And the second is to kind of question dominant stereotypes about actors in the mainstream media, television, film, and even theatre. I'm directing their first public performance. I also worked with them over a period of I think 5 months, where we did a series of workshops which were not geared towards performance but just really towards them getting a sense of their own bodies, re-inhabiting their bodies as performers. Now we're in phase 2, and which is gearing up for our first public performance, set of performances. The play is called Head to Head. The Big Fat Company plays with Hai Vadana. As theatre makers and people who are putting something out into a public domain, we have a responsibility towards our audience. Not for it to be fun, not for it to be enjoyable, maybe, they may not even agree, but I think most fundamentally they need to be able to access it. They need to be able to enter into that piece. Sometimes I find, and especially as as a contemporary dancer, it's very distant. You don't know what is going on. Often I have people, say to me, "That was really nice, but what was it about? What were they doing?" And I feel like that is not a response that I would want to my work. People might say, "I don't agree. I don't like it. It wasn't fun." But they should be able to understand, to be able to access it at some level. That I feel like that's very important for me.
Hello everybody and welcome to White Box Live. So Untitled Art Foundation presents their play Head to Head, which is going to be staged on the 16th, 17th, 18th in KH Kalasauda, and I'm here with the cast and crew of the play. So please give it for this team. Alright, I've heard about KFC and I'm getting to know about BFC, right? So is it a chicken manufacturing unit?
No.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's called The Big Fat Company. Why The Big Fat Company? I can see that, but why?
It's an ensemble of plus size actors, and hence it is called The Big Fat Company because we are big fat people.
Alright, nicely said. But what made you open a company for plus sized people?
I think in my theatre career, I found that plus size people, and especially the way they're casted, is very stereotypical. Mm-hmm. We all are performing constantly, mothers, mother-in-laws, maids, or grandmothers. And as actors, for me it was important to create a platform for plus size actors to challenge themselves in the skill that they're good at, which is acting. And how do we do this? How do we normalize casting for big people? And then the idea just one night occurred, saying, why not have a group of big fat people acting?
Alright, so we have here two of the actors, Sharan and Kirti. So Kirti, my bad. So when you auditioned for it, was it easy for you to accept the fact that you are heavy, you are plus size, you are fat? Is it okay if I use the term fat, right? How comfortable it is, right? 4 fat people and Checking her out. Oh, fat people talking about fatness and being fat and being heavy and so like comfortable. All right. So was it okay? Was it easy for you to be accepted? What was running in your head?
Actually, it is so easy to get accepted because it's been since birth that we are being called as fat. It is so easy. It was nothing humiliating as being as called as fat, but to be casted based on our physique was very hurting. That was the thing. When I got to know about BFC, it was like, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sharon?
For me, it's been like how I say, from birth I've been like, what do you call it, teddy bear or Ganesha, and I have been like in this role, and I was very comfortable. And I wanted to start my career into theatres, and I got to know through Anuradha ma'am, and they told there's a company called Big Fat Company. I was like curious, Big Fat Company, let's see what it is. And now we are here.
So you knew that it's not a chicken manufacturing unit.
Even if we do, it will be fat chickens.
All right. So I need to ask you this question because I was told to ask her this question. That why did you choose Shabri as the director, who is one thin and who doesn't fit into this whole category and the Big Fat Company, and somebody who's a choreographer, who's not a mainstream director?
The idea was that if we have to challenge ourselves as actors, the first thing that we are always denied in theatre is to do something with our bodies. It's always text oriented. We stand, we say a dialogue, and that's it. There's no physical challenge because you're constantly told that you can't do it. So we wanted to know what our capacity of our bodies was as actors, and how else if we had probably got, the first thought was, okay, let us like look for somebody who does a lot of physical theatre. But the most of the physical theatre that is happening that we see is to do with how flexible you are, how much can you stretch your body to achieve a certain kind of flexibility, a certain kind of movement. But we don't even know that. We need to understand what our bodies can do. We need to understand what are the limitations and what are the possibilities that we can explore. And so we sort of knew that we wanted somebody who works with body and movement. And Shabari we happened to meet, and one that immediately clicked was that she didn't have a notion that, okay, you have limitations. She always comes with this, what possibilities can we explore? And that is the mindset that we were looking for. Not in terms of, how do I design now a workshop for fat people and physicality? We didn't want somebody with that, because then they already have made up their mind that we can't do. Rather, we wanted somebody who would say, yes, what you have, what can we do with that? What are the possibilities? A way looking forward. And I think Shabari's work has been predominantly with body and what bodies can do. And I think that whole viewpoint of looking at possibilities rather than limitations was, we said, yeah, Shabari is
the person for this job.
Yeah. So I'll ask Shabri this question. Shabri, when you were approached by Anu and you got to know that there's a company called the reason why I'm saying the Big Fat Company, because this is it's a very new term and it's a new concept. At least for me, so that's the reason why probably I'm using more of the word the Big Fat Company. Okay, so the moment you got to know that you have to design a play and devise a play, what was the first thing that ran in your head?
So actually we are in phase 2 of the project. So we started with a series of workshops. So that's when I was first approached, and my first thought was, I'm not a theatre person. I don't think of myself, although in the recent past, maybe like 5 years, I've been working quite a lot in theatre. I don't actually think of myself as a theatre person, because for 20 years I've been working in dance. So I was very curious to know why they asked me. But I was also very excited because, as Anu was saying, I am interested in bodies. Dance happens to be a way to engage with the body. But what is of interest to me is bodies per se. So yeah, I was excited. I was curious, and then when I first met the group, this was back in July last year, because we had a whole series of workshops where we had people coming in and out. It was much more of an open format, and it wasn't geared towards performance. When I met the people involved, I was surprised by two things. One is that they were all, or mostly from the Kannada theatre, film, and television industry, and they were all like established, respected actors. Yeah, that was the second thing. So the Kannada is not the language that I'm most comfortable in. So I was like, oh, okay, this is a new group of people. And the second thing was that they're all, such well-established actors in their own right. And that really made me feel like, okay, so then what do I have to offer? What do I have to bring? Especially as, you pointed out, and everyone does, I'm not fat. So I don't have that experience. I don't know what it feels like to be able to do something or not do something. So one of the things that I was really conscious of is not to say, do it like this or do this. I would give them I would make suggestions or give them frameworks in which to explore, where they could use their bodies in the way that was suitable or convenient or comfortable for them.
Okay. So let me move to the actors. This is a personal story that I would like to share. I was always heavy, all right, and I'm still heavy. So there was one movement that I was doing for a theatre company called the Laban Movement, and I had no knowledge about it. So I stood for 6 hours practicing. The day it happened, I went back home, my leg gave up and I fell down, right? Because I was doing this whole thing. And I had a surgery for 8 months, and I still limp. So, things that thin people can do, it's difficult for heavy people to do. So, did you face any problems when there were exercises, when there were movements, when you were rehearsing for the plays?
Of course, it is very, because that we are not offered to do such kind of movements. For the first time, I felt it very difficult. And I always say that before questioning anybody, like, why didn't you offer me? I should know what is my level that I can offer them to offer me back. This was a new kind of a process where I could find my level of, how much I can extend myself to do this kind of movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about you, Sharan?
With respect to physicality, I had a phobia, maybe how I might have to do, like, stretch my leg or something else. But I found it very interesting because ma'am had designed it in such a way that it is neither too like tiring, nor it is like too lazy. And it's all about like working out. There is a very wrong notion which says what thin people can do, fat people can't do. Because we have other artists also, like in our troupe, who do it very like with grace. So what to the common and audience I would like to say is like we are also capable of doing. It's just we need to practice it. We have not been practicing since like from a very young age. I'm not so sportive. I can start at any age. So flexibility just comes. It's about like self we put in. That's what I feel.
And also, it is in terms of what are the artistic choices that you make, because once you know that what is the performance aesthetic that you want to achieve, what does the performance mean to you, and what do you want to offer, then there are different means to achieve it. So whether you're thin, fat, slim, everybody has its own constraint. So we always work around to reach, say, like in a very layman term, performance standard per se. So I think for us being big, so we set our own standards as what is it that we want to achieve and our processes of how we want to achieve there. So with what we can do with our bodies, in that journey, explore possibilities, explore limitations, understand ourselves and our bodies better. We're constantly told to ignore our bodies because we can't do certain things. So now the focus is on my body. The focus is on, it's just not about focus of becoming thin, but it's the focus of what I can do with what I have.
And I think performance is particularly relevant as a medium or as a modality, because the body is the central element in performance. Like otherwise, we could write a book if it wasn't something that we wanted to actually show with our bodies. So for me, that's why performance is a really it's the apt medium to explore the potential of the body, and which is why I feel like I actually wonder like why people say physical theater. I think theater is physical, like it's a body on stage, you know, like what else is there, and that's what it's there for. Otherwise we would do a radio play, or maybe write a song, or write a book, or a poem perhaps, or make a painting. But the fact that you have a body on a stage requires, I think, the actor to be able to use your body in a certain way, and even if it's just standing, to be able to stand in your body and not have to hide your body. I think a lot of theater, at least from what I hear these guys say, is about, you know, standing and delivering your line, or if it's television, it's really about your face and sometimes maybe your hands, but the rest of your body is really ignored. And I think theater allows, and therefore is the right way to actually engage with the body at a much more kind of fundamental level. And for me, that's what's exciting working with these guys, because I think they've been on a journey of beginning to really say like, so what does it mean to be an actor and just stand on the stage, you know, stand in my body, not have to shy away, not have to hide. And I was just saying to them, other than of course that they've lost like 3 kilos each, I was saying like the way you hold your bodies has changed, you know, the way they inhabit their bodies has changed. Ask them about it.
Alright, we'll come back to the fat and the heavy bodies, but then somebody please tell me about the play, because it sounds very interesting to me.
Shall I?
Yes, yes.
So it's a devised play, which means that we don't begin with a script or any particular, basically particular text. Rather, it's based on, the starting point is ideas, themes, experiences, and what we would like to communicate. We did begin with Haivadana, which is a kind of iconic Kannada play by Girish Karnad. Mostly because in that play there's this really curious thing where the two main male characters get beheaded and their heads get exchanged, and then what happens, like one is married to a woman, so he's had sex with her, she's pregnant with his baby, but now their heads have gotten changed, so now who is her husband is the question. So where does identity lie? So we've used sections of that play as is. One, because as actors they also wanted to do a regular play. Like, okay, devised means then it's, you know, just suited to our characters and therefore it's within our comfort zone. But what can we actually do a real play? So there's sections of that, and there's also different ways of addressing these questions so there are kind of different layers in the play that basically address the same question. So while there is sections of Haivadana itself, the majority of the play is also devised. But it looks at issues of identity, whether identity is in the body, how does the body shape identity, what kind of identity is in the mind, and stuff like that. But it's not very like heavy and, you know, like inaccessible at all, I hope.
So I'll ask you guys this, that what was your rehearsal schedule like? Okay, that was
It was from 8 to
8
I
a.m.
forgot the end time actually.
8 to 3.
8 to 3.
8 a.m. to 3
3
p.m. with how many breaks?
Oh, yeah.
One.
How strict are they? Actually, I'm looking at them.
No, I'm very strict.
She's very strict
Alright.
actually. No, we had
For
been-
Shabri it is 8 a.m. matlab 8 a.m. For us 8 a.m. matlab 8:15, 8:20. Yeah.
And
So
we
then
had a
finally
chill out time actually. More
Yeah?
than the rehearsals, we had lots of experiences. Anu ma'am sharing experiences, and we used to have our teacher saying, "It's time, let's go." That used to be. That's why I'm like looking at her.
Okay, experiences and break. Alright, we're going to take a very quick break and you can see the montage video of them rehearsing and we'll come back after the video.
My name is Shabari Rao, and my training is as a choreographer. BFC is the Big Fat Company, and it's an ensemble of plus size actors who got together for several reasons. Two of the main reasons being to actually just explore their own range as actors, so to push themselves both creatively and as actors. And the second is to kind of question dominant stereotypes about actors in the mainstream media, television, film, and even theatre. I'm directing their first public performance. I also worked with them over a period of I think 5 months, where we did a series of workshops which were not geared towards performance but just really towards them getting a sense of their own bodies, re-inhabiting their bodies as performers. Now we're in phase 2, and which is gearing up for our first public performance, set of performances. The play is called Head to Head. The Big Fat Company plays with Hai Vadana. As theatre makers and people who are putting something out into a public domain, we have a responsibility towards our audience. Not for it to be fun, not for it to be enjoyable, maybe they may not even agree, but I think most fundamentally is they need to be able to access it. They need to be able to enter into that piece. Sometimes I find, and especially as as a contemporary dancer, it's very distant. You don't know what is going on. Often I have people, say to me, "That was really nice, but what was it about? What were they doing?" And I feel like that is not a response that I would want to my work. People might say, "I don't agree, I don't like it, it wasn't fun." But they should be able to understand, to be able to access it at some level. That I feel like that's very important for me.
Hello and welcome back, and I hope you liked the video. So there's a question by one of the viewers who asks us that what is the most unpleasant thing about being a big actor, quote unquote. What are the things that people say? Who would want to answer it?
Not me.
Yeah, Kriti can I think.
Yeah, it is always unpleasant to get dieting tips. It is so irritating. It is so irritating.
Yeah, and also constantly being, called only for certain kind of roles. And then Sushma, like she's one of our actor, and she has had this experience, and which like a lot of us also have had, that when you have a protagonist of a play who is actually slim and working, and we are given like the sidekick or the dadi or whatever role, and the main role is not able to perform, so the director is constantly telling us, why don't you do and show it to her? So if I can do and show her, and if I can teach her, then why can't I do it? So it's that, okay, you're very good, you do and show her, but you don't do. That sometimes is hurting. So like, am I here to fill that stage space because I'm huge? Am I here because I can deliver? Am I here because your aesthetics demand certain things? So what am I delivering? What am I offering to this? That struggle of what is my value as an actor here? What is it that I bring in? Am I even respected for what I bring in? Or do people even expect something that I should bring? Those sometimes are questions which sometimes you doubt yourself as an actor,
Mm-hmm.
Whether you can. So why am I here? What am I doing?
I'll come back to that, Anuradha, but I'd like you to answer this as well.
No, like the only unpleasant thing what I find is like we as artists we are trying to like show we are capable to act or do something, but the common thing is which comes Kannada phrase is like ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಣ್ಣ ಆಗು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತೀಯ slim down a bit. See, it's not about like what that is one thing like why are you trying to gauge on something called as size? Okay, fine. It's if it is a necessity we can do it, because I was a guy who gained 40 kilos for a role in the movie because it demanded, but unfortunately it didn't happen, and now I'm left out like this. So the question really matters is like what happens is like why do you gauge on it? You try to see what I am capable of delivering. This is what I see.
Okay. Anu, this is something that we had a discussion before about you opening the Big Fat Company. But the reason why you opened BFC, was it also because it was easier for you to like, because you can't give up on food. So was it? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we had this discussion that you know Anu just cannot give up on food, like, and not that she wants to. So was it because of that you know you thought that you know I'm not getting roles, and I'll put it this way: people are not giving me roles,
correct.
so I will open my own Big Fat Company because it's the easier way.
Maybe it was the easier way and maybe not, both. Because one is it was easy to think, okay, I am fat and I know a lot of fat people who don't get roles, and I know I will get an ensemble together who want to challenge this. But at a very idea stage, like, you know, when you just think about how, you know, I'll open my own Big Fat Company. So it came with a challenge, but when you go through the process, it's actually not that easy. Because there you'll have to question yourself on saying why is it to cover up your weakness, is it to cover up what others demand of you and which you can't deliver, like diet. I can't diet, and hence, but I think everybody has their own, you know, limitation, and everybody has some things to offer. Like if a film actor, like say for example Katrina Kaif or Deepika Padukone or whomever you take, they have a certain physique and hence they are given certain roles. So if they have a physique which they can use, why can't I use mine? What is wrong in that? I have a big body and I'll use it.
I said it very softly, but just look at that confidence. It's oozing out of these people. So, okay, there's something called visual, you know, when you visually see, okay, the moment I'll tell you the XYZ is an army officer, the first thing that comes in your mind is physically fit, or maybe when I say a beauty pageant winner. It you know, the first thing, the visuals that comes, right? So how do you break that stereotype? Like, do you have specific do you want to break it, like when the moment if BFC tomorrow performs a murder mystery and you have like a policeman, how do you have a fat policeman?
Like how you have them on the roads today.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like I haven't seen fit policemen
Yeah.
on the roads.
Movies.
I always see them with like a belly and poor things are like sweating and you know probably because they really don't have time to like even like focus on their bodies. They constantly like they do 12-hour shifts, they are like some minister is coming, they're running here there and they
Eating
they
free all over the
yeah.
places.
And they get their haftas come from Belpuri, Panipuris everywhere. So
Oh my god,
so it's the fact of life, isn't it?
isn't she funny? Like, she's so funny. Okay, I get that. So Shabri, you tell me this, that did you feel insecure when you walked in and you saw everybody who doesn't have a physique like you?
Insecure?
Yeah.
No.
Like everybody else is like, or like different.
Like we're huge and we'll eat you up kinds.
No. I although and again I've heard this several times. Although I'm really small, I am very strict. I run a tight ship. So basically, and one of the things that we spoke about right at the beginning was about my role as a director. And while I feel like I have a certain job, we also spoke about the power, and because it's a collaborative performance. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to bring out the actor in you. I'm here to provide a structure or a framework to help shape ideas, to give you ways to think about what we want to say. And so I feel like while I have the role of the director, and therefore a certain power that comes with it, that it's not the kind of power where I will tell you what to do. At the same time, I feel like I'm very comfortable holding that power and saying, yes, I'm here to make this happen. And if we all agree 8 o'clock, then we need to be ready to start working at 8 o'clock, not start coming in. And so then when that didn't happen, I made a decision that you guys will be here at 8 o'clock and I will come an hour later. Because I need work to start when I'm there. I'm not here to, chit chat and spend time. While it's a lot of fun, we actually need to make a play. So that kind of stuff, I'm very good at being firm and clear and no nonsense, and I don't shy away from being the bad guy or making demands on them as actors, and pushing them to really work on something. That's my job. That's what I'm here for. So insecure, no. Far from it.
I like Shabri.
She likes Shabri, alright. So what are the different stereotypes that you guys heard when you grew up, when you were growing up?
Professionally, I have been told always to hold a huge bunch of, some chocolates, some biscuits, and eat very shabbily and to deliver the dialogues. That has been like, if I have done 10 projects, 9 would be like that. That is the stereotypical roles that I have been doing. I am something better than that.
Okay,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
of course. How about you?
The same thing. It's like they generally have an assumption saying like fat guys are little bit dumb, because you can take an advertisement of Lifebuoy wherein the fat guy is always washing the hand the girl and comes and asks, what is your soap so slow? Like, why do you need to
Yes.
stereotype it? Similarly, you have in cartoons also. You have Chota Bhim, you show on Kalia. You give this person a very nice outfit and Kalia is shown just wearing a small this thing. Similarly, like you take most of the cartoons are everywhere they have this kind of stereotyping. And stereotype one is like they either try to show you like a teddy. You can be cuddled, you can be like taken for granted. Other thing is bully. Though you are not a bully, they're like, hey, bully, he's a bully. So this is what we often find. And again, there is something which says, we tell to ourselves, like, this is the most common phrase which I use, which I heard from my sister, is like, they say, it's not offensive to anyone. It's like, those who have a very good heart or mind, even though they like eat a little, you tend to plump up. So this is a positive affirmative which I've been using over time.
And what are the different names that you've heard or people have given you?
It's like lot like Bundu,
Ganesha.
and Kalia. Like
Yeah.
recently, all small kids near my place, they call, hey, Kalia uncle, Kalia uncle. Who is this guy?
I've been called as Akka from all sort of men. Being old, young, my age, everybody Akka. That was the most irritating.
How about you, Anu?
Like from childhood, like food, like foodie and hens. So like tindi poti, then dummi, then karbuja, kalambi, then like gundpangla. So all those kind of. But there's dume. It's like the constant. Like
So what is the meaning of dumme?
Dummi is like fat.
Fat.
Fatty.
Okay.
So like as if I don't have a name. Hey, Dummy. That's like one. constant.
So one of the things actually that we have been asked is that, are you guys going to play the victim card? You know, like we didn't get roles, we didn't, you know, people always are calling us these bad names, and the industry is against us, and therefore, you know, we're going to show everyone. And I think also because we've got quite a lot of media attention and so on, I think there's a lot of curiosity about how are we going to pitch this play? What is the tone of the play going to be? Is it going to be like, you know, screw everyone, here we are, and we're so like cool? Without, you know, giving away anything, I'd like to say that that's definitely not what we're aiming at, and we're not looking at an us versus them kind of situation. Rather, we're looking at us, and this is what we are, and hey, you know, we can do this and we can do that, and we're having fun and we're enjoying this, and you know, rather than, we're definitely not looking at you know, victimhood kind of role. In fact, we want to stay away from that. We want to look at the nuances of what it just means to have a body that weighs 100 kilos. You know, what does that mean? What does that feel like? What can you do? How tired do you get? Like stuff like that. Just what does it mean culturally? What does it mean physically? What does it mean socially? Yeah.
Okay, so when you decided that you're going to open a company called the Big Fat Company, I so love the name. So what were the different responses that you got?
Like one is, you're fat and it's so easy, and also like, okay, just because you're fat and you're doing theatre, fatness should not be a reason for you to put up a bad play.
Or the other one was, well, if you were good actors, you would get good roles, even if you're fat. Like, maybe it's because you are bad actors.
That's the easiest.
Yeah, those responses have come. Like, also, like my mother will say, ನಿನ್ ಥರಾನೇ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಜನನ ಗುಂಪೆ ಹಾಕು, ನೀನು ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತೀಯ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನೂ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡು. Like you'll gather more fat people, you're also like doomed, you'll doom them also.
But my response to, if you were good actors, you would get roles, and it's not about your body. My response to that is that how come bad actors who are thin get roles?
And we know a lot of them.
We know a lot of this. Despite being bad actors, they get roles. How did that happen?
And also, like, because we've got a lot of media attention, it's also saying, oh, you know, this is like body and gender is like in fashion now, and hence you're doing it. So,
Your response to that?
is that it's always in fashion because we're there. Gender is always there, you know, and sizes, bodies are always there. So it's always going to be in fashion, irrespective of what size of bodies you talk about. So yeah, we're there all.
Alright, so if I could just ask you guys that, give me that one story of you being fat that you remember even now. What would that one story be?
You want like a positive one?
Doesn't matter, as long as you know it has left some, it's
Impact.
important. Yeah, impact.
It's not about story, it's about like a common phrase which I'm always used to. Like anyone who comes to my place or any location where I need to go, I'm not addressed by my name or the dress which I wear. ಒಬ್ಬ ದಪ್ಪ ಹುಡುಗ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವ್ನ ಕೈ ಕೊಡಿ. Like a very fat guy comes. Initially I used to feel very bad. Even my father or anyone, hey, there's one fat guy who's going to come take. Then I thought, like, nearby my place, I had an Abdul Kalam's bust, and all famous actors of Kannada, the same bust or statue was there. And what they used to do is like, come near Abdul Kalam. So I started getting, it's not like a negative at all. See, even I am a landmark. But my body is not, what my dad is like, hello, ಒಂದು ದಪ್ಪ ಹುಡುಗ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಕೊಡಿ. Like, this is what I feel. We are landmark. We are here to create a map on this land.
I know you're so positive about you being fat. So positive.
Yeah, sure.
Who is listening? All you people who think that, oh, I'm fat, listen to this story. Alright, yes.
Yeah, I love dancing. I don't call as a dancer because Shabri is here. I love dancing. Whenever I say I can dance, people will ha ha ha. How can you dance? That is kind of irritating, and I don't care. I create my own video and put it on Facebook. I'll just wait for the likes. Yeah.
Sweet. How about you, Anu? You have a lot of stories to share.
One is, it's also about, because you're fat, anybody has anything left in their plate, the first thing is, Anu, will you finish it? Of course, I would love to finish it, that's a different story. But I think that's what I like about being fat, because wherever there is food, they'll always think of you.
And sorry to interrupt, and like I use a common term saying like I have a monologue to myself. It's like I call them like any leftover food, be it my friends, I just wait, okay, ಆಯ್ತಾ ತಗೊಂತೀನಿ, and I proudly say I'm a social service, ಸಮಾಜ ಸೇವೆ, not wasting the food, because farmers are like
Yes.
toiling and I have it right. So that's what I do. I respect food.
Okay, so there's one thing, it's like a little game that I'm going to play. So,
Okay.
one thing that you want to tell Anu, one good thing about each one of us present. Not me, I mean,
Okay.
of course not. Yeah, but
Of all three of them, Anu ma'am is
You
always
should have
like,
told us before. I would have
Ah.
prepared for it.
or just say that I don't have anything
Okay.
good to talk about Anu.
okay, one good thing. Oh, she's giving me
One good thing. Just one.
one good
One.
thing is like it'll be like I'm putting the other two down. It's like she's the epitome of positivity. Any time I have never seen ma'am like this, and we don't want to see her like this. And she's sitting. I come like generally when I come early, she's like sitting. Ma'am, ಏನಾಯ್ತು? Hey, nothing. I'm fine. And I haven't been like felt even a dull moment with her. Anything, even when I was coming like to Kormangla, she just like knocks. Hi, how are you? I'm like, we are going to the same place. And she has that positive like because after being in interaction with her, I like so many things changed drastically. This attitude or what I find like the perseverance of the world. Because I used to tell her, see, ma'am, everyone treats me like a failure. So what? Don't worry much about it, because even you will get a time. Just do it, and you are doing it to yourself. Others aren't any parameters. See, we are not like like to measure height there is feet, inches, or to measure weight there is kilos. To measure human being there's no apparatus. Don't worry, go on. And success also cannot be measured through money or something else. You are there. Don't worry. This is one great thing.
We can have like a positive quotes book written right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good thing
Oh,
I
you have
have-
to talk
Ah,
about
yeah.
her. You're not done. Talk about
Sabri
Sabri.
ma'am. Sabri ma'am, the positive thing is like she accepts everyone the way they are. That is one great thing, because I was like, I'm being a very fresher, like, and I know some of them are like very famous in celebrities, like when it comes to television industry or movie industry or even theaters. And ma'am was like, don't worry, just like you are you. Because she has a famous quote to her students, they come and tell, ma'am, I want to be like you. She says, you can never be like me. Because you are you. And she says, like, I have like aged so much, I have kids, all these things. You are you. You are the most precious one. So that is one great thing.
And how about your co-actor?
Kriti, that is like, like I have to say, like, I don't know, like, it's like, I don't know, how do I put it across?
Basically, there is no good thing.
No, not that good. It's not like that. It's like, what do I need to say is like, there is a famous quote from some movie which says, I am a rebel and there is a cause behind it. And she's like, most of the time she's like serious. But when she like says a point, it is on a mark. It's like you have a Yorker or you have like, yes, it has to be LBW. That's what she does. And thing is like, she has that attitude. Yes, it's me. That's what I learned from most of them. And great thing is, even she is very humorous. Though she doesn't open up, but when she opens up, that is always.
It's me.
Okay, it's me. Alright. So, yes, 3 good things about.
Anu, good thing.
No, nothing. Nothing.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'll tell because of the sake of telling.
Oh.
Thanks for creating BFC. and bad things. She won't allow anybody to speak.
That I completely agree.
Shabri, yeah.
By the way, she didn't ask for any bad thing.
Yeah. No, but she had to say it.
I had to say. Because I have so many bad things to talk about, and so I have to say one. So Shabri has a very good, knack of saying even the bad thing in a very positive way. Even if we are doing some mistake, she will not say you are doing a mistake. Yeah, that is fine. You can do it in a different way also. The positivity that she brings on is very good. Yeah, he's actually a very good human being. He's a very fresher. He has that, I want to do is that, and he is very open to, opinions and criticism. That is nice. Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah, there's a very good bonding actually, because I feel it's like a family. I have everyone.
Don't call me Akka, please.
No.
All right,
Never
I'll
called
ask you too about.
Anu, come on, Anu.
Are you going first?
Yeah, you
First
can
step.
do first.
Okay. Sharun,
Hmm.
he's in a room full of very strong, very experienced women, and who keep shouting at him, telling him he's not doing something properly, and threatening to cut his hands off, etc. But he comes back and he works and he tries and he asks and he persists, and I think that's not an easy thing. I think being in a rehearsal space, so there are 4 women in the cast and Sharun, then there's me, and so there's a room full of pretty, potentially intimidating women, and he really is able to hold his own, which I think is pretty commendable. Kriti, I find, is unapologetic, which I really like, in the way she states her opinions, in the way she acts, in the way she's open to feedback and criticism and so on, but she's not shy, she's not hesitant, she's unapologetic, and she's very much like this, as he said, this is me and this is what I'm going to do, and she's willing to kind of listen, but she's not shy, and I really like that. Yeah. With Anu, I feel like she'll call me and she'll be like, Shabri, that scene, no, I really don't think it's working. I have all these problems. This line is just not so. Like she'll just go on and on. And on. So I feel like she engages with it at a very, of course, it's a very important project to her. So she has a lot of concerns about, is this the right thing? Are we saying it the right way? Are we hitting the right tone? Whatever. A lot of and in the beginning I would wonder why is she pushing back so much? Why doesn't she just let things develop and flow? But I also noticed that she's really willing to work when she has a criticism or a doubt about something. She's actually willing to do the work to fix that, and I think that's good. Yeah.
Sharun, what I really like is I keep humoring him, saying, if you don't do, I will cut off this, I will cut your head, I will cut your hand. So he has a great sense of humor in receiving, and feedback. Sometimes I say, you come on, this. So he's sometimes when my mood is not proper, I really shout at him also many times, and he's the only male, so all the women bubbles. So he's very good at receiving feedback, whoever it comes from, and that's not very easy to accept feedback and to figure out what intentions they're coming from, and to see the purity of that. So I think Sharun in that way I really love the way he receives feedback. Kriti has a great sense of humor, and she's also very disciplined in what she brings in.
That's
She's always on time. When you ask her that this is the homework that you have to do and come, she does it and brings it. So it's not okay, I can do. No, she works on it, and that discipline is something that I really appreciate. Shabri has a lot of patience. To deal with somebody like me who's like what she said, constantly. Sometimes it doesn't even occur to me that they also have a life. you know, and I'll be like, any like time I'll call her and say, you know, this. So to just like also step and give that benefit of doubt to the other person of saying, you know, they mean what they're saying rather than I have my thing, okay, I keep the phone. So she has a lot of patience to even empathize what it means to the other person. I think that's very much required in a process when you work as a team. And Shabri brings that. Yeah.
Right, I can see a lot of positivity here, just overflowing, oozing. So, all right, the last question for the day. Was there a lot of food?
Oh! We had.
Oh my God! Yes, bring it on.
We had Supratim, who is our photographer, documentation, and our cook. So we call him the sexy cook with the sexy food.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, he's sitting right behind, and I can just see him.
I told him I would give him a role if he would wear just an apron.
Like a roll or a roll, R-O-L-E.
No, yeah, a role
Like a
on the
on stage.
On the
yeah.
stage.
But the only criteria was that he could only wear only an apron, nothing else. He turned it down.
Yeah. But yeah, we've had like he every day for him he gets excited to cook for us because we enjoy our food and he enjoys cooking for us. So he'll be figuring out new recipes and he'll say, shall I make this? Shall I make that? And so in between he had little college and all that, and he was out and I was cooking like in the morning. And everybody is like, your food is nice, but when is Supu coming? When is Supu coming?
Today we
So
had
to-
some
yeah.
good
Yeah.
So
After
today
a long time we had some good food.
See? And of course you'll see a lot of food in like different ways also
In the
So,
play.
in the play.
In the play.
Yeah,
yes.
because it's a very integral part of who we are and what we are.
Food.
So yes, food. Yeah.
Food, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So head to head will be staged on the 16th, 17th, 18th in KH Kala Sauda. The timing?
7:30
7:30.
p.m.
Every day 7:30 p.m. All right. So that's pretty much about it.
Yep.
Right. So it's a goodbye from the entire team, the cast and crew of Head to Head, and Ahana.
Bye.
Bye.